Hello, everyone. Welcome to Kiki and Kibitz. It's me, Mary, and I'm here on this Manic Monday with my Love During Lockup, Season 5, Episode 51, or Episode 1, whichever way you choose to number them. It's the season premiere, you guys. Sugar Mama Drama. Just the title of the episode alone should tell you that this is going to be like a Jerry Springer or Maury Povich hot mess. So if I was going to give this episode a grade, I would give it a solid B plus. A lot of it seems to be recycled storylines, but recycled with a twist, if that makes sense. So let's just hop on right into this. So it's a whole new season with a whole new cast of fools. I mean, couples. We have new inmates, new non-inmates, and yeah, let's get right into this. So first off, we have Tia and Rob. Tia describes herself as plus size from head to toe. She has a plus size personality, plus size career, plus size boobies, plus size ass. She's plus size already down to her ankles. I mean, her ankles may be a little plus size, but that's okay. Um, Tia sits down, in her little confessional thing within like the first 2 minutes of the episode. And she's like, Rob is my man, my man, my man, my man, my man, my man. Immediately, I was reminded of Letitia, my husband, my husband, my husband, my husband. So it's 45 days from his release. He hasn't had sex in 8 years. He is going to turn into an animal. So Tia, you better watch out. Okay, they've been talking for 8 months. Rob says that he grew up in a loving two-parent household, but the money wasn't there. So at 14, he started selling weed. At 24, he was convicted of robbery, and he served 8.5 years, ready to give up this life. Wants to move on, ready to give up, this gangster life. Okay. He has this huge scar on his neck, and the producer was like, what is that from? And he said he had a parathyroid surgery. Thank goodness it wasn't from any violence. So they're talking on the phone. When we're first introduced to them, she's sitting in the park on the bench, and she's like, what is your biggest goal once you get out? And he says, one of his biggest goals is for the two of them to start their lives together. And his second biggest goal is to get together with the homies and to go to the strip club. And she's like, what? What are you talking about, strippers? And he's like, I want to get these strippers in. And she's like, you're not talking about like the first or the second day. And he's like, no, like the first week or something. But, the first day I want, for you to cook a meal for my family. She's like, what are you talking about? I thought that we agreed for the first 2 days it was going to be me and you locked up in my apartment, fucking all the time. And he's like, don't worry. We have a lot of time to fuck. On the first day, I want to see my family. And she's like, but what do you mean? And I'm looking at the TV like, girl, what do you mean? He's been in jail for 8.5 years. Okay. Do you blame him for wanting to see his family on the first day? I certainly don't. Strippers, yeah, I'm on Tia's page with that. First week you're out, you think you're going to be up in the strip club making it rain with your homies? No. But seeing his family on the first day, come on, girl. She's like, I want to be cuddled. I want to be held. And she's like, need to stop. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, girl, at least you recognize you need to stop. I need to stop being so vulnerable, because if I get my heart broken, I'm never going to be in another relationship for the rest of my life. So now the next scene, she's going to see her cousin Toya, who happens to be dun, a tarot card reader, a psychic, and a medium. Now, where have we seen this before? So she starts to read the cards. Okay. Toya is her absolutely favorite cousin in the whole wide world, and Toya is the one that hooked her up with Rob. Let's keep this in mind as this season goes on. So, first she pulls the 10 of cups, which apparently represents happiness, his joy, his love, his family. Nothing is going to stop him in that regards. Okay. Then she pulls the healing card. The healing card is for Tia. And this is at the moment during this episode that I wanted to reach through my TV, hug, and shake her at the same time. Tia was in a very abusive relationship. Now, this is why um, WeTV had the message in the beginning of the episode that this episode will be talking about DV and blah blah blah. So they had that message in the beginning, and it was what because of what we were about to find out about Tia. She was in a very abusive relationship. It got to the point of broken bones, and there was a very graphic picture of her ankle shown. And I just wanted to hug her as she was telling her story and shake the shit out of her because it's like, girl, you just left a very abusive relationship. You managed to get out of it alive. You're still healing from it, obviously. And you're going to hook up with a felon who's been in for 8.5 years. Now, the reading is going on, okay? And her cousin tells her once Rob gets out, things are going to move very quickly. Like within the first month, he's going to want to move in with you. And Tia's like, well, I'm not really sure where he's paroling to. So Toya's like, I know the young lady. Tia's like, young lady? He didn't tell me nothing about no young lady. And Toya's like, it's a family friend. It's not like she's just a friend of Rob's. She's a family friend. Rob's sister knows her, you know. So Tia's like, hmm, young lady. He didn't tell me nothing about no young lady. And then this is where I nearly fell off my chair. Okay. Toya started talking about that her mother-in-law, Rob's mom, has been coming through to her from the other side. Apparently, Toya is another Teresa Caputo. Okay. She could, hear and see dead people. So Rob's mom has been telling Toya that she approves of this relationship and Tia feels her presence too. I'm like, Lord. And you know what's funny is that she lives in Bayshore, New York, which is Long Island. Do we have another Long Island medium going on? I'm like, Lord. Okay, so moving on. We have Savannah and Bradley. So Savannah is a bar cart girl. She drives around on the golf course at the country club by her house, seeing if the golfers need their beers, their waters, whatever. She's a work in progress. She sits in front of the camera. She adjusts her boobs. Um, Bradley has 20 days before release. They started dating 2 years ago when he was incarcerated, but he's been in her life for 6 years. Okay. So, if he didn't go to prison and she didn't go to rehab, they wouldn't be where they are today. Now, Savannah's descent into drug addiction, according to her, is different than, like, I guess a normal descent. I don't know what a normal descent would be. But she said when she was 19, she met a guy, and the guy was a single dad, had a little girl. The guy was a recovering heroin addict. So every 3 months, he would relapse, disappear for days. She would take care of the little girl. She was mom to that little girl for 4 years. So she says when her ex took that little girl, it was the feelings, it wasn't the breakup that she wasn't able to deal with. It was the fact that she was a mom to this little girl every day for 4 years. And then one morning she woke up and she wasn't a mom anymore. So, first she said it was cocaine. Then it was, Adderall. Then she met Methany, and Methany's a bitch, and Methany ruined her life. Methany hurt her, her people that she loved. She has been clean from methany for 2 years, methany and cocaine and any other substances. Okay. She lives in this huge, like, plantation looking house. I'm sorry, okay? It's she says her grandmother based it on Thomas Jefferson's floor plan. It has like pillars and everything in the front. Doesn't have a pool, but we're working on that. She's living at home with her mom and her grandma, saving money so when Bradley gets out, they could get their own place. So she gets home and her mom is cooking dinner, and she's like, I'm gonna go upstairs and change my clothes. And her mom's like, no, you're not. You're gonna help me with dinner. She goes upstairs. Bradley calls her. Her mom is like yelling, Savannah. So Savannah comes down with the phone, and her mom's like, hi, Bradley, how are you? So, what are your plans with my child? What are your intentions towards my child? Like, what's going on here? And Bradley's like, what is this, the 50s? And she's like, are you guys going to go to counseling? Because you're not very nice to each other. Your relationship's kind of toxic. And Savannah's like, back then. And mom says, oh, okay, so if you consider last week the past, when he calls you and tells you to fuck off, motherfucker, this, and that, and hangs up on you, and then calls you right back, you don't consider that toxic? You have a point there, mom. You really have a point. Um, Her mom has concerns, and her concerns are valid. Her mom's really worried about her relapsing, and considering that Bradley used to be her weed dealer, this may not be a good idea. Okay. Her mom also does work in the Virginia prisons. She knows what goes on in there. She knows what kind of people are in there, and she's really worried about her daughter. And I don't blame her. Her biggest fear is that Bradley's going to relapse, and because her daughter loves Bradley so much, she's going to follow him down that path of destruction. And this is only the first two couples, okay? So now, oh, before I forget, Bradley is totally for Savannah's pro sober stance as long as she doesn't try to force it on him. So now moving on, we have Sam and Krystal. And this is going to be a hot fucking mess express. Okay? First of all, Krystal has 7 years to go in a 14-year sentence. 3 months after talking, Sam decided that Krystal was the love of his life, flew out to the prison to see her, and then decided that he was going to marry her, uproot his whole life from Oregon, and move to Texas. Sam is living with her grandmother, who Krystal could be jealous of because Sam jokes around that Grandma Rita is his second wife because he does everything for her. They go shopping, they go out to dinner. Everything that Krystal should be doing with her husband, her grandmother is doing with her husband. And Krystal is getting mad. She's getting jealous. I don't think Krystal's the one to piss the fuck off because, did I mention she's in prison for stabbing her ex-husband in the forehead? No, she said she cut him. No, she fucking stabbed him in the forehead. She was charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. And her story started out like Savannah's. When I was 19, I met this guy, and our relationship was a drug-fueled, drug-addictive relationship. And next thing you know, she's stabbing him in the forehead with a knife. So she has 7 years left on her 14-year sentence. Um, he says he's going to attempt to wait for her. So his friend Cameron is coming down for the weekend, and she's not happy about it. And she's like, don't let him be a bad influence on you. Don't you dare think about cheating on me. And, Sam's like, it's really annoying because she's trying to be the puppet master and trying to make me the puppet. And he spends a shitload of money on her. Okay. He has spent a total of approximately 102K. In 3 years, 102K. And you know what she spent it on? Commissary, TV shows, movies, and music for her prison issue tablet. Damn. She said Sam put $100 on her books last week, and she only has $18 left because she binge watched the TV show, and it was the best money that she's ever spent. So now Krystal gets to see parole next month, and if she does get parole, it could possibly mean that she's coming out as early as next year. Now, she knows that Sam has secrets because there's something that she hasn't told Sam. Even though they've been married for 2 years, and she makes sense when she says this. They only have a surface relationship. They haven't been with each other physically in person. So, they don't have that depth to a relationship that you would have if you were physically together in person. This is where she makes sense. Okay, so I guess we're going to find out what the secret is, and yeah. So now moving on, we have Kate and Hunter. Kate describes herself as a crazy dog lady. I say that she's a crazy lady, period. Okay, so now if you didn't watch the show and you're watching me for the recap, you better tighten up your seatbelt. So Kate, the crazy dog lady, is taking her dog to the trainer, to try to get her dog trained and stuff because there's going to be big changes coming. Her man Hunter is coming home soon, and she met him. What was it? She met him 2 years ago at her local coffee shop. Okay, and he is so charming. He makes you feel like that you're part of an inside joke. He was arrested for DUI under the influence of marijuana 3 times back to back to back. So he's been incarcerated since November of 2022. Now, Kate says DUIs back to back, not a shut door major red flag to her. Okay, it's something she could overlook. So, and you know what else she could overlook? The fact that he has sugar mamas financially providing for him in prison. Because guess what? She's the one that fucking signed him up on the site to begin with. She's a yoga teacher. She can't afford to send him money. But then she realized that without money, there's no phone calls. He won't eat commissary. He'll be stuck eating prison food. He has managed to buy himself some nice stuff with money that woman sent him. At one point, it was almost 40 women, but now he has whittled his list down to the top 10 high financial supporters, and Kate fully supports it. I mean, she feels bad for the women that are sending him money, but hey, somebody got to do it, and it ain't gonna be her. I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck is happening here? So now, Hunter is calling to tell Kate that there's a little problem. He was having a visit, a video visit, of course, no physical visits. He knows the boundaries, okay? He was having a visit, and the visit got PG-13 to X-rated pretty quickly. So one of the visiting guards got whiff of it, went back and looked at the tapes, and he got rolled up for seeing sexual activity on camera. So it could mean that he could have 30 earned credit days taken away, which means serving an extra month. So now Kate is like, okay, I think it's time for you to break up with these bitches because now it's putting your release date in jeopardy, and that's getting me mad. And he's like, but honey, how are we going to pay for these phone calls if I don't have women, putting money on my books? And she's like, would you send me a list of the women? And he says, why, are you going to hit them up? And she's like, no, just, I want a list. So according to Hunter, who is really proud of his roster. Oh my God, you had to see the smile on this guy's face. The glow was blinding me when he was talking about, at one point, it was almost 40 women. Well, one of the women, it has gotten really, really, really complicated. And if Kate finds out, she's going to have a fucking conniption. And then we see at the end Hunter calling the other woman. Now, they have been teasing the season of, this is going to be the twist of all time. I don't know, we shall see. But yeah, like I said, this first episode so far was a doozy. Now, it is Monday, December 16th, and on Wednesday, December 18th to the 23rd, I will be away with my family. We are going on a little trip to Aruba for Christmas, and we will be back the day before Christmas Eve. So, most likely, I won't be able to get in my regular word on the street this year. So, I'm going to drop some tea at the end of my recap on this video. So, we have good old Bradley and Savannah. It looks like that they're together. Um, they're doggy, and it looks like that they might have gotten a place. So we shall see what's going on with Bradley and Savannah. And then we have good old Sam, okay, who says that he dreams of this often. I dream of mountain and coastlines, salt flats and deserts, sagebrush and pines, little rivers, big lakes, and a comfort only known to me in memory. I'm planning an adventure, one I deep down hope never ends, and one with no return on the path taken. Then we have good old Kate and her man Hunter. Okay, so it looks like these two got over sugar mama drama. I don't know. We shall see. Now we have two more couples that we weren't introduced to, MJ and Willie. Okay, now MJ is 37 years old. She has no kids. She's in California. Her occupation is a wholesale real estate investor. I mean, Willie is 35, no kids. He's in Arizona, and his crime is possession of a firearm and intent to distribute. So, MJ and Willie's relationship faces challenges as MJ struggles with her feelings for her ex-husband, which whom she cheated during Willie's incarceration. Returning to her hometown to care for her sick mother, MJ must confront her unresolved emotions and decide if her connection to Willie is stronger than her past. Is this going to be the twist? Is she going to leave her inmate for her ex? I don't know. We shall see. So now I just wanted to give you guys a little update on my last word on the street about this whole Daniel, Bianca, Fallon situation. In case you guys don't know what I'm babbling about, my last video was about Daniel talking to this woman named Fallon. Fallon's son lives with him. It's just a whole hot mess express. Go check out my video if you haven't already. So I just wanted to share with you an update. Um, Basically, Fallon sent me, as you can see on the left, a message that Daniel sent apparently to WeTV production requesting an advance payment. Um, his savings are gone because of his car. He's now renting the apartment alone, considering that him and Bianca broke up. And he was just basically looking for an advance. Now, in the middle, you see a message that it's a screenshot of a message that was put into a DM by someone who is friends with Daniel, mutual friends with Fallon and Daniel. So I was DM'd by someone named Diamond, and she said that Daniel wanted to interview with me to tell me his side. So I DM'd Daniel. He has no interest whatsoever. He says he's going to stay quiet. Hey, sounds good to me. I'm going to Aruba anyway. But Daniel went live on TikTok, and he actually answered what was the situation with Fallon. Someone asked him, yo, what's up with this gossip about Fallon? So let me share this with you. Okay. So this is Daniel.
Hold on. I'm right here. I'm here. I can't answer questions about if I broke up.
But you did.
What's up with the gossip that you and Chick Fallon? Who pinned that? I want to find out who pinned that. Okay, Cheyenne. Thank you for Cheyenne. Okay, here's the gossip. I met Fallon on Instagram. She watched the show, reached out to me on Instagram. We hit it off. We're talking. We date. And this is like over the span of like a couple weeks, maybe. We never meet, but we're like video chatting all day, every day, talking to each other. And then like she starts getting like intrusive, a little controlling about what I'm doing. Her son lives with me, actually. That's how that's another story. But come to find out, she has a really bad brain injury. She was in a crash in a BMW, and her skull is fractured in the back. When she doesn't take her medicine, apparently she gets crazy.
From what I understand from speaking to Fallon, the medication that Daniel was referring to is Keppra, which is an anti-seizure medication. And I could personally tell you, as a epileptic myself that was on Keppra for many years, you don't get fucked up if you don't take your medication. You'll have a seizure if you don't take your anti-seizure medication, but it's not like antidepressants or bipolar medication. No. So Daniel, just please get your facts straight on that. Please and thank you.
And she got crazy and made all these things up, and I had to block her from my life. I feel for her because that like really sucks, because that's kind of out of her control. If like she's got a brain injury, like that's fucking sad, and it made me sad. But she's very mean to me, and I can't be around that. You know, I'm in a very delicate stage in my life.
If you guys check out my last video, the last word on the street that I did, I'll put the link in the description. I have all the messages between Daniel and Fallon. You guys check it out and let me know what you think. Do you think she was mean to him? I think that she was very nice to him, and when it got to the point that she was setting her boundaries and telling him, listen, you can't be a TikTok whore just to have girls throw money at you. There has to be some form of respect if we're dating. He tried to gaslight her, but that's just my opinion. Okay. And now hearing him blaming her anti-seizure medication for it.
My life, and I just need to just be very careful of who I surround myself with. So I just blocked her and everything, and I just ignored her. So that's what happened with that. No, I'm not. Yeah.
So he's loving all this attention. Okay. He is on Facebook, loving it. And yeah, there we go. So moving on from that drama, Bianca wants to start a podcast soon, and it would be a literal 2-second video about being a prison wife. She would just say, don't do it. Michael, remember Forehead Michael, Sarah, Megan, Maria? He really needs to grow the fuck up. He was arrested in July for an altercation with his neighbor, I think, about fireworks or some shit. And now he was arrested for cocaine possession. Michael, don't you think it's time for you to grow the fuck up? Just asking. So anyway, moving on. Mike and Justine, the newest episode of their podcast is out. And as for Mocha, he's still on his gram talking crap about a man that he shot over a year. I think it's about 1.5 years now. Okay, that's how long ago. I mean, he's been going on about this. Let me just share this with you guys. Like, he just never stops.
Life. As long as I live, I'll always disrespect them. It's definitely need the whole Leonard, Melissa Vitale, Becky Barney, fuck her son. You know what I'm saying? He could get it too. Yvette Williams and her son, she could get it too. Tammy, London, England, that bitch is so dumb. Her daughter's becoming a son. You know what I'm saying? She could get it too. Which is other dumb bitch. Brenna Malin, her son beats her up. He's retarded as fuck. And her daughter has a mustache. Like, all these bitches literally claim to be with me, and there's not one vacation photo of me chilling with them, going out to get something to eat. None of that. Talked about they thought they were in a relationship with me. Bitch, shut the fuck up. Y'all got mad because the article said I had a girlfriend when I told y'all I didn't. All right? Bree was never my girlfriend, okay? It was an open relationship. So all y'all be mad.
He's disgusting. That's all I have to say. He is disgusting. And I am so glad, no matter what he says on his stories, that we will never see him on Love After Lockup again. If you guys haven't checked out my interview, I did this a while back. Mocha is a Scammer Part 4. The Women Speak Out. I'm going to put that link in my description. Most of the women that he was talking about in that little clip, you could hear their stories. I had a few of them on the interview with me. And yes, so if you haven't checked it out, it's really interesting. Let's move on to some positive stuff. It's the holidays. We're all supposed to be happy and full of joy. Eris, your husband thinks you're a warrior. Okay. Cam is like, only my wife could keep her wig laid and push a baby out at the same time. And I love how Cam has so much love for his wife and his children. Okay. He may be a gangster, but he's a soft gangster. And nothing wrong with that. And T-Rock and Brittany, it makes me happy to see them out and about and doing the couples thing like they're supposed to. Lindsay took her daughter, Miley Grace, to see the Nutcracker. And nothing puts a smile on my face like a picture of Jessica's adorable son. Look at those curls. That kid is so freaking cute. And of course, it wouldn't be an edition of Word on the Street without Dylan, Marissa, and Heather, all modeling in one way or another. And then we have Shantae looking fantastic, Haley with her baby, and Kayla. So finally, before I wrap up my recap / Word on the Street and go off to Aruba and see you guys in about a week or so, I just want to remind you, when someone pisses you off, okay, it's Christmas time. You could use a candy cane to sharpen the end. Thank you so much for watching me, everybody. Please subscribe if you don't already. Hit that like button. Share my video with a friend or 10. And please consider joining my membership. Thanks very much, everybody. Love you all. Bye-bye.